Hello, hello, woohoo! Welcome to the Cultivate Your Squad teaser announcement live. I'm Mariah Young, the CEO of Gals, and if you haven't noticed, our squad loves pom-poms. So, of course, I have to have those at the ready. So, today I am not only going to make an announcement about our Cultivate Your Squad challenge, so that will be there in just a moment. I'm also going to be sharing with you about why the topics that we are going to be talking about are so important about cultivating your squad. They actually kind of seem like they have nothing to do with your squad. They're all about you. And the answer to that is yes, that is true. They are about you. And for so many reasons, there's a really good reason why that is. But to start with, knowing more about yourself can help you make sure that your people picker is not off. Now, that is not my term. I actually believe there is a book out there, and I apologize. I should have looked it up in advance, called Is Your People Picker Off? And that really hit me pretty good just hearing the title, because my people picker was off for a very long time. And I don't know about you guys, but while all of us go through friendship things, you can't help it. It is what it is, right? We all have things that we go through with friendships for many reasons. A lot of it stems from us not knowing ourselves very well and not having friendships who, align with us, our values, our goals, our dreams, etc. You name it. There's so many reasons why that can be. And I will say, one of the big things that I think has helped me is the fact that I'm a military brat. So something that I had to do when we moved, which we actually didn't move as often as a lot of people in the military, but I had to figure out very quickly how to kind of adapt myself, and I almost kind of got to become a new person every time that we moved. Hey, Kathy, hello. Yes, please make sure you say hi if you're watching. But what that allowed me to do is to recognize for a season. Sometimes they're here for your whole life. Sometimes they're here for a few months. Sometimes they're here for years. We don't know what that's going to be. But it helped me to be able to adjust and adapt much more easily. And I thought that was normal, but I have learned that that's not. So when we set out, as young people, we kind of get spoon fed our friends because we go to school together, we're put in similar sports or whatever that is. And you kind of just have these friends that are just like supernatural, right? It naturally happens. I remember my kindergarten best friend happened because we had the same backpack on the first day of school, and we were instantly best friends. We walked home from school together every day after that. It was amazing. And I have to say that sometimes I get really bummed that it feels like as adults, it can't just be that easy. Hey, we have the same backpack. Let's be best friends. Now I get it. That some would call me idealistic. I know, it's true. I am. But that's because I really wish and feel that it didn't have to be so difficult as adults. And women, man, and men too, but women, we put up with a lot of judgment in our circles. You're judged for everything you do and don't do, right? So, how much cooler would it be if we could make friends more quickly, make friends that are aligned with who we are, our values, our goals, our dreams, have a variety of friends within our circle, and they're drama-free. Now, listen, I'm not stupid enough to think that drama is not going to happen, but learning how to deal with conflict, learning how to, let things just either be, pick your battles, things like that. These are all skills, unfortunately, that we seem to have lost. So, we're going to be talking a lot about your people picker in this challenge at the end of May. It's May 20th is when it starts. I will be dropping the link in the comments as soon as I am done with this. And the topics that we're going to go through may feel like they have nothing to do with friendships, but they totally do. because I personally know and believe that the first step to finding friends who are aligned with you, who are actually ready to cheer you on, who are ready to support you, starts with you. And so, Kathy, you mentioned my sparkle. Thank you. Thank you. I am wearing my tiara, which all of our vendors and Galvassadors for Galacon are going to get. And maybe you're looking at me and you're thinking, okay, you are way too sparkly for me. That's okay. What we want you to do is we do want you to find people, women who are in alignment with you. Maybe you do not ever like to dress up. Maybe you don't like to be sparkly. That's okay. Find your ladies that are like you that enjoy that. I always love the posts of things like, all I really want is a girlfriend to go thrift shopping with and, maybe read our books together. Awesome. We want that for you too, right? Maybe you don't need a slumber party. Maybe you don't need to go out dancing or clubbing, but maybe you do. And that's awesome. Whatever that looks like for you, that's what we want you to find. It does not have to look like somebody else's definition of friendship. If this is too much for you, that's okay. I do not want you to find a bunch of friends like me if that's not your fit. So, the 3 topics that we are going to cover in our challenge are discover you. You have to explore yourself. You have to explore the things that you enjoy. Just like this, right? I do love dancing. I love dressing up. I love slumber parties. I am an extrovert to the extreme, but then I also love garage selling. I love just hanging out with my bestie, just her and I love my one-on-one coffee times. And sometimes I also just like to curl up with a book in my bed. That's okay, right? But I had to explore some of those things. I had a year of yeses several years ago when I was doing this myself. I had to discover what I enjoyed. And I won't lie, I said yes to a few things that scared the heck out of me. One of those being going to Hawaii, which that was exciting, but saying yes to snorkeling with dolphins. You guys, I am afraid of Jaws. It's irrational. I know it. But I've watched way too many horror films. I grew up on Jaws. My dad read us books about, beasts in a lake, and I am just afraid of the water. But I said yes, and I did it, and it was amazing. I actually had the dolphins practically sneak up on me, which was so scary, but then they were right there. We're not supposed to touch them, so I was actually afraid like I was going to get a fine. So it's really kind of silly story, but I said yes to so much. Now, I wasn't like the yes man, or I said yes to everything because I am a rational human being. I know when to say no, but kind of was like that. The second one that we're going to talk about is dump the junk. Guys, so many of us carry so much crap in our trunk, right? The junk in the trunk. And we don't need to be carrying it around. And whether it's expectations that other people have put on you, roles that you've committed to that no longer suit you, don't add value to you or to anybody else, mental health issues, there's so many things that we carry on our shoulders, and having toxic people in our lives should not be one of them. We only get one life, right? If that's what you believe. That's what I believe. So I want to have the best life. And I'm sorry, I don't have time for people who do not fill my cup. And now I don't say that in a way of like, I can't be generous. I can't love on somebody. Of course. But when it comes to constantly sucking the energy out of me and they're not adding anything and they're, possibly even making things worse in my life, I don't have time for that. And neither do you. Finally, the third part is design your ideal life. And now design your ideal life is actually a very large topic. It's something I talk about in extension in my coaching programs. But what we're going to talk about is cultivating your squad as a piece of designing your ideal life. I personally believe that there are 5 types of friendships that we all should have in our circle. If we have more, yay, that's a bonus. But it's kind of like the wheel of life that Zig Ziglar created. If you're too heavy in one type of friendship, it can feel really lonely. So, for example, if you're too heavy in all business relationships, you could feel like you never do anything but business. You could feel like you're always just being sold to. You can feel like you don't have anybody to just call up and go like get a drink with or go on a trip with. Maybe those silly 3 a.m. phone calls that you're going through something. You want to make sure that you have a well-rounded types of friends. It's five. It's five types that I have seen. I'm sure there's more, but that is the top one, main ones that I have found in my experience. And we'll talk about that some more later. So those are the three topics: discover you, dump the junk, design your ideal life. And guys, I won't lie, in the dump the junk, that's not the easiest topic. So I promise that we won't leave you there. Designing your ideal life is so much fun. When you really start to think about what success looks like to you, oh my gosh, it really opens the doors and it's super exciting. But if you never get help with the junk in your trunk, you don't maybe go and see a counselor or a therapist if that's something that you need in your life. You never seek out investing in yourself with maybe good books, surrounding yourself with good people. If you don't get to a place where you are able to pull yourself out of that second piece, it's very, very hard to design your ideal life. It really is. And we like to say around here a couple of things. One, it's not if you're going to go through something. It's when. We all go through crap in life, right? So it's really important to have those friends in place that can offer you the support that you need during those times. And one person, let's say your spouse or a sibling or, whoever it is in your life, especially if you're going through something really tough or you have a lot of things that you're doing, maybe you're in a big transition, that person cannot be your everything. They just can't. It's not possible. I mean, maybe it's possible for some people, but it's not really fair to expect them to have to listen to you talk about the same thing 100 different times. And you're not like solving it. Now, do we need that? Yes, we absolutely do. But that might be where somebody having well-rounded amount of friends, maybe a therapist, stuff like that in place can help with that. So I'm super excited about this, guys. Let's get your people pickers working by doing these steps in your life that are not only going to help you, obviously, but they're also going to help you to cultivate your right squad. It's kind of like when you buy a car and you see that car everywhere. Like, whereas before you were kind of like, I never saw this car, but I just bought one and now I see them everywhere. When you know what that ideal friendship and what you are looking for in a friendship, because you've done the work for yourself, you're just going to see everybody everywhere. It's going to be crazy. For right now, I know how difficult it is to make friends when you're an adult because I'm going through that right now as I have moved and uprooted. It's hard to make friends. But when you know the direction you're going, you know what you're looking for. I've had to shift that myself a little bit here. It starts like people start to come out of the woodwork because they're looking for the same thing and they didn't even know it, but you've done the work. So you now know. So it's a very awesome thing when you can figure this out. It is so fun. So that's what we want for you. We want you to be able to cultivate your squad of sparkly people, if that's your thing. If it's not your thing, then find unsparkly people. You get to decide what that looks like for you. Now, obviously, we would love for you to join our squad in the Gals community. If you're not already in our free Facebook group, we would love to have you join us. And we would love to have you join the Cultivate Your Squad challenge at the end of the month. We're going to have all kinds of goodies, of course. If you know me, which maybe you don't, but if you do, I love gifts. I love giveaways. I love that kind of stuff. So we're going to have some fun stuff. So make sure that you join us. And I am super duper excited to share this with you. Unsparkly people, Kathy. Really? I don't know. I'm not sure if I fully believe that, but you get to decide. I'm not going to decide for you. I think you're pretty sparkly. You're awesome. Either way, even if you're not sparkly, you're still awesome. I love you. Anyways, guys, have a fantastic rest of your day. I hope that you will join us. I will drop the link in the comments below. Let's help you find out who your squad of supportive women is and get you cultivating that squad. All right. I love it. Kathy, thanks so much for being here. And I will see you guys next week. All right. Bye.